Okay, I'm going to do a quick demo now to demonstrate how to prepare a file for printing in color. And I'll just go ahead and start with this image that I opened in Camera Raw. Make a couple of quick adjustments to the highlights and midtones. Looking at the histogram here, I'm going to move my white point over so that it meets here, and again, doesn't clip or spike as it's doing here. So I'm going to bring this back. The blacks are already set where they should be. If they were way over here, I'd want to bring them over so that they meet this edge without spiking. I'm now going to adjust the midtones a little bit, so I'll just open those, but I see that when I do that, I'm getting this spike happen right here, so I'm going to bring that back down a little bit. I might slightly think about adjusting the contrast at this point, just slightly down a bit so that I have a lot of nice information in my shadow area there. And at this point, I'm actually going to go over into my HSL grayscale and not hue, but saturation. I'm going to keep that clicked, and I'm going to see if there's any sort of color in here that I might want to bring down a bit. And I see a little red in here that I'm kind of thinking, you know what, I do want to try and remove some of that. Might be a little bit orange as well. But of course that's affecting this here, so kind of might leave that as is for now and make some additional adjustments in Photoshop. But you see my histogram still looks good. I'm going back over to the primary adjustments, and I'm going to see about whether or not I want to bring some of the highlights down, which kind of helps my cloud area in the background. But so now I'm going to click on this area down here, and this is really important. I need to change this to Adobe RGB 1998, which is the color space we're going to be working in. We're going to keep this as 8 bits per channel. That's going to be fine for our purposes. Keep all of this unchecked so that we're working with our original size file. You'll want the resolution to say 300. That's a good starting point. Hit OK. Now I'm just going to open this image. Whoops. And then I see, here we are, everything's ready to go. I want to print this on 8.5 by 11 inch paper, so you all are familiar with that process by now, but so I'm just going to go ahead and change this to 10.5. It's linked here. That's going to make this 10.5 by 7. I am resampling because it's making this smaller, and bicubic sharper reduction is what I need. Hit OK there. Then I would go in and hit print, and I would determine which printer I wanted to use. And before I go into print settings, I'm just going to look down here, and at this point I want to say Photoshop manages colors. This is different than in black and white. In black and white you're saying printer, with color you're saying Photoshop manages color. And you need to make sure the document is tagged Adobe RGB 1998, which we did in Camera Raw. Now under Printer Profile, this is where you select the type of paper you're printing on. So I click on this, and this is letting me know this is luster paper. This is the Epson luster paper that you will print on, is designated as PLPP. If you were working with enhanced matte paper, it would be EMP. This is glossy, but for our purposes, we're working with luster, so we're selecting that. Keep that clicked as is. Go back up into print settings, and we'll go into, yes, we do want to print on letter size paper. Print settings, we see it's already set for luster, which is great. We want that to say color. Color settings off, no color adjustment, good there. We're going to keep it on finest detail and superfine. Hit save, and everything looks great here. Our orientation is fine. We don't need to change the layout. And then we would go ahead and just hit print, and that would take care of that for us. So I'm going to cancel out of here though. And that's how you print a color image.